Welcome to this edition of the CHMS TV Newscast. I'm Alina Gata.
And I'm Ellie Bender.
And we will bring you the latest in Highlander country. First up is our wrap-up on our Veterans Day Assembly.
Which was a great success.
So true, Ellie. Anyways, we interviewed some veterans who attended, and here's what they had to say.
Why did you join the military?
I volunteered in 1968. The draft was still going on at that time, but I chose to volunteer.
Where did you travel to while in the service?
Well, while I was in the service, I was at Stewart Air Force Base, Newburgh, New York. I then went to Hahn Air Force Base, Germany. I went for a period of time to Hamburg Air Force Base, and then Frankfurt Air Force Base in Germany. Then I came back to the United States and I got discharged.
Were you awarded any medals or recognitions?
Yes, I have the National Defense, American Service Medal, Vietnam Service, and Good Conduct, and a few other ones that I got afterwards.
Do you have any experiences you would like to share?
Well, I had a lot of nursing, and that's the reason I went in. I saw during Vietnam, I watched the TV and saw how our soldiers were getting wounded, and all I ever wanted to do was to be a nurse, and I thought that's where I could do the most good.
What message would you like to convey to the young people today?
Join the military. It's the best thing I ever did.
The day started with providing all veterans with lunch and ended with an assembly where they were honored with the band performing, students presenting Patriot pen essays and letters, and a short video.
Before we get to the survey with Evelyn, Izzy, and Gina, here are some students and teachers with their favorite Thanksgiving food.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is turkey.
I would say my favorite Thanksgiving food would be the pies after the actual meal. I'm gonna have to go with pumpkin, preferably with whipped cream. But I'm a sucker for a good apple pie as well.
Okay, my favorite Thanksgiving food is stuffing.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is turkey and mashed potatoes.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is turkey.
I like pumpkin pie.
Welcome back. This week's survey is on your favorite Thanksgiving food.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is stuffing.
Mine too.
My favorite Thanksgiving food is turkey. Did you know that there's a chemical in turkey that can actually make you sleepy?
Really?
Yeah, it's called tryptophan.
Here are the overall results.
The first place winner for teachers is stuffing. And taking over half of the student poll, the winner is turkey.
Thank you for participating in this week's survey.
Here is Sid and Emma with Thanksgiving traditions.
Here we are bringing you some Thanksgiving traditions. My favorite Thanksgiving tradition is helping cook and prepare the food with my family.
Oh, that's a good one, Emma. My favorite is watching NFL with my family.
Touchdown!
Some more Thanksgiving traditions are socializing and enjoying your time with your family.
Also, a popular thing is sharing what you were thankful for.
And lastly, here's Ian Nagel and Isaac Weiland with the first edition of Teacher Feature.
Starring Mrs. Albright.
Our first question for Mrs. Albright is, what was your inspiration to become a teacher?
Actually, it was my oldest son. I was what they call a non-traditional student. I got married, had a child, and then I went to college. My oldest son, he had a speech impediment, and we actually had a speech pathologist come to our apartment to work with him. And she taught me how to work with him. And that's what inspired me to become a teacher.
Our next question for Mrs. Albright is, what is the most rewarding aspect of teaching?
What I find most rewarding is when I run into a student who I had in 7th grade, whether they're in 8th grade, high school, or out of school, and they tell me how much they enjoyed my class. Or we talk about a favorite book or a favorite author.
Our last question for Mrs. Albright is, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I predict the Baltimore Ravens, and those of you in 7th and 8th grade know how the Baltimore Ravens got their name.
Thank you for watching this week's newscast. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Jazz hands!